North Korea may be sitting on a world-class deposit of minerals, crucial to most modern technologies, which could change the country's fortunes. The communist country is usually in the news for tweaking the West's nose, testing nuclear bombs and firing off missiles. But North Korea is also working on developing a mining project that could change its relationship with the rest of the world. In 2013, North Korean officials said a continuous mineral deposit of around 6 billion tons had been found south of the capital Pyongyang. Much of the deposit consisted of a class of obscure metals collectively known as rare earths. If it turns out to be true, a resource of this size would be astounding and worth billions of dollars of income annually to the cash-starved country. According to the UN trade body UNCTAD, the international market for rare earths reached $7 billion annually in 2010. Rare earths are not particularly rare, it's that they are usually found in small quantities scattered across the planet's surface among other minerals, which makes them expensive to extract and process. Virtually all the world's supply is currently produced in a few districts in China. So while relatively unknown, they are vital to our world. Rare earths are an irreplaceable element in smartphones, flat-screen TVs, computers and other everyday technology. They are also found in the magnets of wind turbines and electric car batteries. Before the deposit can be brought to the surface though, it must be fully evaluated to determine how and where mining should be done, if at all. Dr. Louis Sherman, a South African-born geologist now living in Australia, was appointed by the North Koreans to carry out geological evaluation, and is now the lead scientist on the project.
In 2011 I was asked to travel to North Korea, me being a principal metals geologist in Australia at the time. The brief was to have a look at several mineral occurrences and provide them with general geological and due diligence reports.
Dr. Sherman has ever since been shipping mineral samples back to laboratories in Australia for evaluation. The laboratory phase is time-consuming, but eventually will reach the point where the results can be published, should the North Koreans decide to do so. Given the fraught relations North Korea has with the world, especially its neighbor South Korea, with which it is still technically at war, Dr. Sherman's work and involvement in the project has come in for some criticism. Choi Kyung-soo, a senior researcher at the North Korea Resource Institute, has published criticism of Dr. Sherman's work. South Korea, with its technology-weighted industry, is already one of the world's largest importers of rare earths. Dr. Sherman shrugs off this and other criticism as the inevitable fallout of the tense political relationship between the two countries. The work Dr. Sherman is doing now is not far removed from the kind of research he spent the past 25 years doing, mostly in Africa, he said, including a 7-year stint as lead metallurgist with Canadian billionaire and mining entrepreneur Robert Friedland's Ivanhoe. His focus in North Korea, Dr. Sherman said, was on the geology of the project.
My work and my involvement in any part of the world are apolitical. I do not get involved in any politics and will not even have an opinion, although what we do does have a positive effect. I have always seen mineral deposits as basic dynamos, especially in Africa and most recently in Asia, that could support development and growth. Development and growth in most stressed nations and regions can be utilized as catalysts to induce change.
To realize the value of the deposit, North Korea will probably have to invite in foreign investment. Mining is a capital-intensive industry that requires specialist skills. Ore extraction is the easy part, but the milling, crushing, refining and separating it from other elements require complex plant and machinery. Luring outside capital into the Hermit Kingdom may be tricky. Although a generally mineral-rich country, mining in North Korea has failed to reach its potential, as a lack of electricity, and equipment dating back the 1960s, holds it back. The country is also under military sanctions, and it is a moving target as to whether other punitive measures will be applied in response to antics such as the recent tests. A final unknown is the legal system, although Mr. Schuerman noted that all contracts were written in clear English and based on similar documents elsewhere. Should North Korea ever rejoin the rest of the world, it has the potential to be a major supplier of a valuable mineral, to the betterment of its people.